Time for sound design. In this video, I'm gonna take on a challenge to make something, a beat, a loop, a track in only 10 minutes. So 10 minutes is a really short time, so I'm probably not gonna go far beyond a basic loop with a little bit of variation. But the goal is to turn off my overthinking brain and stop second guessing every decision, like what kind of drums do I want, what kind of tempo, what kind of key, and just have such a time limitation that the only thing you can do is just create and not think about it. So I did not prepare anything for this, but I have an idea, is that I want to create some drums, a bass, a synth, a melody, some pads maybe. That's kind of like the kind of elements I want to create. And then if I have more time, I can add more stuff to that. So yeah, this is super exciting. I don't know how it's going to turn out. You can already, of course, there's timestamps below if you want to hear the end result. Yeah, let's see where it takes me. So 10 minutes, I'm going to put a timer on my phone. I'm going to turn off this microphone and I'll see you in 10 minutes. And the time is up. So this was very challenging. Let me stop the timer. This was very challenging, but I think I created something. So let me go back to Ableton and zoom out and actually see what we have here. So let me just first play the entire thing. So that's the entire thing that I created in 10 minutes without any preparation or any starting points. I will walk you through now the different layers and what I was kind of thinking when I was creating this. So one thing I noticed now is that the bass is quite high in volume, so I'm going to lower that a little bit. Yeah, I started with the drums and I loaded up a drum kit quite quickly, the Bird kit. Almost kind of randomly, I would say. I created this very simple pattern. And it's such a basic pattern that I later on I chopped in the actual audio file to create a bit more variation, like at the end of bar 8. To have a few more extra snares. But what I did then is I duplicated it and then pitched it down, pitched it up actually. Usually I pitch down, now I pitched it up because I thought it was a bit of a heavy sound. So that was basically the drums. And later I added more layers of percussion, especially the shaker turned out nice together with the drums. Let me play that. Maybe also a bit too high in volume. And yeah, the next thing was the bass line together with the drift synthesizer. And for the bass line, I used a preset, but for the drift synthesizer, I just adjusted the envelope, added some noise, changed the oscillator, and it's a very basic sound, but it kind of works for this. And then here in green in sampler, those are instruments from my library that I created before, and especially the pad really works well. I recently used this pad on something else, so I kind of remembered like, oh, this is a good sort of general pad. It's not too obtrusive or anything. Yeah, and then I created this second part, which is the sort of chopped up drums, and there are pitched down instead of pitched up, and then a variation in both the bass and the pad. And then I added this other sort of little sound effect that I also used in the intro. That part 2 is really like, it's not really a part 2, it's maybe more like a bridge. So it doesn't have really enough variation, I would say. But at least it changes from the basic loop. And then for the intro, I just did a drum sort of intro that are in different pitches. So that sounds kind of cool. And these are, yeah, pitched up an octave, 9, 5, and 0. And it's just the kick that is looped. I mean, it's barely an intro, but it's like, it's at least something before the actual loop starts. But let me tell you this, 10 minutes is very stressful. You have to be extremely quick. Like every first idea that you have, you just have to do it. If you're looking for a crash cymbal, like what I was doing, or a clap, then you can maybe preview 2 or 3 and then you have to go with it, because otherwise you won't have enough time. And I think the most tricky part is actually the melody. The drums are kind of easy. You can later also add some double snares and stuff like that. But the melody part, the bass and the main synth, that is tricky to make something that is somewhat interesting. But as I said at the beginning of this video, my goal was to sort of turn off your overthinking, your second guessing brain, and just create something, go with your first hunch, your first instinct. And I think in that respect, this was very useful. At least this is something I can build on. I might want to replace, for instance, the actual bass sound, or I might actually want to refine the melody of the bass, but at least I have something that consists of multiple elements. There's bass, there's percussion, there's drums, a pad, synth, some kind of effecty sound. Since I have this loop, I can, for instance, I would create a second part that's like a proper counter melody to the first part. And I would fine tune all the sounds, look at the EQ, look at the effects, maybe create more variation in velocity, for instance, with the shakers. There's a bit too static maybe. And then I can use this as a starting point and really refine this and build on this. So in that sense, it was a successful challenge. If you have never tried something like this, I highly recommend you do it. You don't need to record it. Of course, you can just set a timer on your phone and an alarm and just go for it. And I think you'll be surprised in what you can actually do in 10 minutes. Let me know in the comments what you think. As always, keep making music. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.